You do anything fun Saturday night?
Well, all the guys in my barbershop quartet are dead, so no, not really.
You know, if you ask Kristen out from statistics, she'd probably say yes.
That's why I don't ask.
Too shy?
Too busy!
It's a reoccurring trend with movies in general that sequels are never as good as the first film, but it's now a reoccurring trend with Marvel movies that the sequel absolutely kicks the first movie's ass, and that's what's happened here again. Why do you think it is? What is it about these Marvel movies that literally the sequel just kicks it out of the park?
I don't know. I think there's a big expectation out of the fans. I mean, Marvel has set the bar so high with their initial movies, with the first Iron Man. And Kevin Feige just knows what he's doing, and there's such a rich wealth of existing storylines in the comic books. Kevin just always tries to tap into that and make sure that we up the ante.
The choice of director always for me is an interesting one because I'm looking at it and I'm like, did not see that coming out of anywhere. Even Kenneth Branagh back to Thor, I never saw it coming. But it always turns out to be a completely genius decision. Obviously Anthony and Joe are brilliant. What was it on set that they brought, I guess, to the experience for you guys?
I think that, obviously Anthony and Joe come from their, they have that background in comedy, and I think that that served Marvel fairly well in the past, coming from Jon Favreau initially, and then even Joss Whedon having a really dry sense of humor. I mean, I think these movies work when the darkness is balanced with a levity.
Hey, Cap, how do we know the good guys from the bad guys?
If they're shooting at you, they're bad.
In the comic books, there is obviously the preachy side, the goody side, and then you also have to, I guess, bring in the darker tones. For you, how did you find that character initially, and how have you developed that yourself?
Well, initially it was tricky because in the first couple movies, he's such a good man who refuses to bleed on people. It's not going to be that easy to find this complex arc when someone doesn't have these inner demons. He's such a good person who puts himself last. It's hard to show that angst. In this movie, they gave him some conflict, though. There was some hurdle. It wasn't necessarily an internal one from his past. It was about him accepting his present day and potentially his future.
You got to completely bring the human side to Natasha in this film.
Yeah, it was really nice to be able to sort of see Natasha as a person who gets up in the morning and goes to work and has a life outside of her super suit and is sort of self-aware. And I think, by the end of this film, both characters are sort of struggling with their own their crisis of identity, and it humbles them, I think. It's interesting to, kind of scrape away at the surface of this character a little bit more,
And are we going to see more of that in Avengers? Obviously, it's a year away now. Everybody's completely pumped. There'll be so much anticipation on it.
What can you expect from it is, of course, there's a couple more characters that the universe is introducing here
so there'll
to
be
the
like
audience.
2 minutes screen time for everybody because there's already tons.
Yeah, basically, we're just going to speak one word, each person finish one whole sentence.